finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
And it's intercepted. Picked off by Deion Sanders. And the Cowboys are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there of finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty.
He rifles one that's intercepted. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number 1, maybe they're not having this deficit. And number 2, maybe they actually have the lead.
And the pressure getting to RG3. He's brought down for the sack. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Tony Field in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. A final shot before break. Griffin. He's going to look deep down the field. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by the 8-time Pro Bowler, Steve Atwater. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this 3rd quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the third down conversion.
So right after the defense gets you the ball on a takeaway on a fumble recovery of their own, you've got to reward them, don't you? You've got to stay out on the field, give them a chance to rest, and how about doing it the way they did it, running the football and picking it up on third down.
They would not have wanted to go 3 and out. They avoid that right there.
Yeah, they avoided the glares as they went back to the bench, didn't they?
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. Pollard going to try the right side. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
They're going on 4th down. It's Griffin. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. This is Hines. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
He's going to let this go for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the shutout, at least for now, is still intact. Great job by the defense after, Charles, last time this crew was out here, remember, they gambled in their own territory, didn't get it, but the defense held. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. Following the penalty, Chubb. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after.
And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. Tony Field in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Brian Anger now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look at all